It's a what happened to Butch Hartman? He got arrested or something?
No.
No.
Arrested for YouTube crimes.
I mean, I feel like anytime I hear someone's name and it's trending or something, I'm always like, oh shit, so who'd they sexually assault?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's terrible.
No. They're leaving Nick.
Yeah, Butch Hartman's leaving Nick after being there for like 2 decades.
I mean, it's never been a good place. Okay, I'll wait to talk on the podcast.
So we're just going to wait on Mars reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started a new hashtag on Twitter. I basically said, move over, cutie Saturday hashtag. It's time for Tsundere Sunday. Tsundere. It's like...
I just felt myself have like a fucking like, oh geez. I felt my body shut down when we all did that simultaneously.
Yeah.
You started like becoming one person for a little bit.
We all want some tsunderes.
We all fused
We
into
all
one.
synchronized.
I don't know, because once we're done with the podcast, like me and Nesca and Tsundere girl got to go eat together.
Yeah, we did a recording yesterday, and we pretty much just made fun of Pan together.
Yeah.
It was great.
So wait, you guys haven't eaten anything?
I don't know. I ate. Did you eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, she ate. But we're gonna go eat dinner. You know, it's a special occasion. We're not gonna say what since that's illegal. But anyway, we were playing the Teen Titans.
It's illegal?
What? Nothing. We're playing.
How is it illegal?
Pan, you're so unsubtle. Like literally, you just spoiled it for everyone.
Spoiled what?
How is it? I don't understand what you're doing is illegal.
I'm right here, and I don't even know what's illegal.
Is it like a tortoise wedding? Because those are illegal.
What's a tortoise wedding?
When someone marries a tortoise.
I didn't think it would be so literal.
What do you mean? What else would that mean?
I don't know.
It's just, you can't matter.
It sounds like slang.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's slang for marrying a tortoise.
I thought it would mean something more, but
that's the literal description.
It's too literal. Where it's like I thought it would mean something else, but no, it's literally what it sounds like.
I think the kids call it a toto. But I'm not down with the kids as much now.
Was the dog from that one movie just named after a tortoise wedding?
Wizard of Oz?
No, that's Toto. This is Toto.
Oh my gosh!
See, it's like a whole thing.
My mind's been blown.
It's a whole thing. It's gonna catch on. So
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah. All the kids are gonna talk about it.
Where is Mars Reviews? He's supposed to be here.
Maybe this podcast could be like that Seinfeld episode where they wait at the Chinese food restaurant and never get to go in.
Yeah.
Spoilers for an episode of Seinfeld.
This whole podcast is like Seinfeld. Nothing ever happens.
When are we going to get to the fireworks factory?
Dude, I used to love watching Seinfeld.
When are we going to get to the fireworks factory? Unfortunately, it seems that Mars has had a very, very, very last-minute technical hiccup.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a very good podcast since there's like a 3-year delay when you're communicating from Mars, you know?
True.
I mean, unfortunately, the delay is about 30 seconds.
Oh, well, have we progressed that far? That it only takes 30 seconds?
No, 30 seconds to get from Mars.
Fuck off.
It took you a while. I was surprised you were letting me go on for so long. I'll lay Jared Leto joke.
Oh,
damn.
We're always in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers. Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers. Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hey, it's the Rebel Taxi Pizza Party podcast, and our guest didn't show up, but it's just us, me, Pan Pizza, and who are you people?
Oh, hey, it's Jim.
Whoa! Fuck!
Oh, he's back.
Oh, here it goes.
Who are you?
Oh, it's me, Jim.
There he is.
Are you
Jimmy.
the one guy everybody keeps talking about?
Yeah, I guess so.
It was like, oh man, this podcast sure sucks without Jim. We need to get Jim back. We need Jim. Where's Jim? Are you that guy?
I guess I am. I don't know about all that stuff, but sure.
Well, I guess everybody's going to be happy now that you're back. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
And
I'm happy.
And also we got who are you?
Pan's friend Nesca.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
I'm playing a video game.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's my friend. She's in person, and she's just hanging out at my house. Me, her, and Tsundere girl are gonna go eat dinner later. But anyway, yeah, Jim's back, everyone, and...
Wait. If by having dinner, are you talking threesome?
No. No. That's never gonna happen.
Are they gonna eat sushi like off your naked body?
No.
Like, oh.
No.
Look at me. Woe is me. This sure is embarrassing. My slightly flat goblin body with like the extra flap that I got after a gastric bypass.
No one needs to know these things. We got a sponsor. I mean, it's CK Draws again. If you donate to our Patreon and give $100, you get to promote your stuff. And we're promoting CK Draws, who draws mostly lewds. I mean, there's links to his DeviantArt and everything in the description. And they like Total Drama Island. They're the one who requested the Total Drama Island review. Actually, they requested the Total Drama what was the World Tour review? And then it just made the video kind of convoluted, and you know, if anyone has a problem with that video, it's his fault. So you know,
you're doing an excellent job of sponsoring him. Let me take it from here. CK Draws does commissions and draws a lot of lewd pinups of all of your favorite cartoon girls. If you're interested in buying some commissions or art from him, please visit the link on stream or in the description. There, that's all you had to say, but you fucked it up.
That was
Good
beautiful.
Job.
Yay. Yay.
Also, sponsoring us on the podcast and donated to Pan's Patreon helps us raise funds to get us all to MomoCon, where we will be doing a panel and having an artist alley table where you can buy merchandise from us and just chat with us. But not for too long. We have paying customers to get to, so scram.
Yeah, don't talk to me. Just don't look at me in the eyes, okay? That gets weird.
Yeah, just look at his dick. I know it's hard since there's like nothing there.
No one stop pandering to my sexual humiliation fetish, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here in person. I don't. Please don't.
No.
Fun fact for everybody in stream and in the call. I've known Pan for about 7 years now, and I still don't know whether or not he's joking about the sexual humiliation thing.
Yeah.
That's how good he is at playing the bit. But anyway,
like I'm a. What do you call those actors who like get way into the role and they're doing it in public and stuff?
Jared Leto's.
I'm a method actor, you know. Everyone around me is ashamed.
Yeah, we're like a meth head actor.
Oh, I don't do those things.
Got him.
We got some news.
Yes.
Oh wait. Oh, before the next video is going to be a Patreon review request for Alan Gregory.
Oh wow! Really?
Yes. That's gonna be awesome.
So Jonah Hill donates to your Patreon?
Oh, what if he does and he's like, please, somebody talk about this cartoon? Because I was watching some interviews with him, and he was very passionate about this cartoon, hoping it would be good, and it just wasn't.
Maybe he's still at Hollywood parties, and he'll be like, yeah, but remember my show Alan Gregory? I feel like that could come back, right? Like, if I just called Adult Swim, like, I'm Jonah Hill. Like, you know, and they're like, God, he just does this all the time.
Whatever, Jonah. Whatever.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Jonah Hill, more like Jonah
Thrill.
More like Jonah Fox.
Yeah.
Spill.
But for our first bit of news, CK Draw says we should talk about Butch Hartman leaving Nickelodeon.
And not say anything disparaging about any of the bad decisions or cartoons he's made.
Yeah, well, I mean first off, like cartoons.
I'm not talking about those. I'm just saying that they exist. But we're not going to say anything disparaging whatsoever.
No, we're not going to say anything disparaging, but we're just saying there's a portion of the work that he has made that's bad. Very good. That's bad. But we're not saying anything anything bad about him.
Yeah,
or his
yeah,
creative
yeah. We're
vision.
not gonna let the dogs out on this.
No. We're just saying if we were to do that, there's lots to talk about, but we're not
Yeah.
going to.
This is a real Dougal, if you feel me.
But basically, Butch Hartman, the creator of Fairly Odd Parent and Danny Phantom and other shows nobody cares about, has decided to leave Nickelodeon after 20 years of working there. Which normally I'd be like, well, cartoonists change between studios all the time, but I guess this is kind of a big deal because this was 20 years. I mean, what other cartoonist stayed in the same place for 20 years? Well, besides Lasseter, but
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder why he left. Did he say? Because his video said why I left Nickelodeon.
He didn't say a goddamn thing, so it's probably his fault.
Yeah.
anytime someone leaves a network, I think the natural thing now is to be like, so did Amazon get him, or did Netflix get him, or whatever Apple's going to make get him, or, you know, like there's so many other ways to make content now. I wouldn't be surprised if like he has a deal with one of these people, because they're like, because kids stuff doesn't get the headlines, but it's still like, it really helps those streaming services. So I could imagine like that's probably what it actually happened, or he just bounced because he saw that that's probably what's going to happen. And because at least on Netflix, like it doesn't matter what time, they don't have a time slot. They'll just sort of leave you alone. So if he got that pickup, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
He mentioned that he's going to work with some streaming company that doesn't really exist right now called Pocket Watch. And there's no info on that, but he said it, and that's all there is we can go by.
Pocket. He didn't say like what company that is, or is he doing the Disney one that knows anything?
I don't know. He just said Pocket Watch. I guess he's gonna put his Noog network on whatever the streaming site is. Pocket Watch. Noog, please. Yeah.
I mean, I hope he got a better deal than just going for some crappy one, because I feel like whatever Disney launches there's going to be so many that if you're like a small one, you're just going to get gobbled up.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
I feel like we're just going to be oversaturated in streaming services, and eventually we're just going to be, we'll end up with like 3.
Yeah, well, because also like the Apple one, like seriously, no one knows what that's going to be, and there's been stories about it for like months. So like we don't actually even know what 2019 is going to be like entertainment wise. It's like just this looming black cloud.
Didn't Netflix say like they're gonna turn like they're not gonna stop until like 50% of their content is Netflix originals?
Yeah, they've said things like that just because they like the fact that like if you want to see something like House of Cards, oh well, I guess that's not a good example anymore. Okay, well they were like, you know, if you wanted to see a show like Master of None, actually never mind. Okay, so if you wanted to see a show like maybe a show that people still.
How about a movie like Death Note? Oh,
or a movie like Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh,
hang on, we're gonna name a good one. Hang on.
Wow.
so we're gonna be here all day.
No, I mean BoJack's pretty good.
Well, they got BoJack. That's the only good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like Netflix is just taking whatever in.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the Cloverfield thing worked, and Bright thing, like it worked to get people to watch something, but afterwards everyone's like, oh yeah, I did that. I don't know.
Well, normies like Bright, you know.
It was okay. Like nobody's like, you know, thinking about Bright anymore, other than to be like how ridiculous that was like their big push was.
It was a better concept, but like the execution was like, this is kind of falling apart the more you think about it.
No, it's a cool concept, but to me it's like it's a cool concept that Zootopia did way before and way better.
Oh no!
I mean, if you know, it's like there's nothing about Bright that I didn't see in Zootopia. And Zootopia had more fun with the racial politics. It was more interesting about it, and Bright completely failed on all those fronts. So,
oh yeah,
I couldn't really even finish watching it.
Listen, Jim.
What?
Fairy lives don't matter anymore.
That line confuses me so much. Like, okay, are the fairies like sentient humans or are they just pests?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. I noticed that's a theme with Netflix movies, because that was in the Cloverfield movie also, where they just like talk about a concept like I know about it, and I'm like, did you skip a part of the movie where you explain these like larger concepts? Because they often like go like, oh, you know, like how the orcs are this thing, and I'm like, I don't know. You're the movie that's telling me these things. Like what? How?
Like people in the comments or the chat, just like the fairy lives don't matter line in Bright. Like are the fairies their own people, or are they just pests? Like, why would Will Smith say that if they're just pests? Like, when you crush a cockroach, you're not gonna say cockroach lives don't matter unless.
Well, didn't they even try like ordering a exterminator for the fairy, or he was going to?
I guess so.
So
is he saying that the fairies like have a movement like Black Lives Matter, a protest movement in this world that's different, showing that people should respect the lives of fairies as well? Or is he just like, because he references that like people in that world know what that is?
It feels like a first draft that they like didn't bother to flesh out. From what I hear, David Ayer like took Max Landis's script and then like rewrote a ton of it, or at least some.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm like the Max Landis thing. Like I like him, but it's often I like him to a point. But there's often like when his scripts always get mangled, quote unquote. But like I'm like, how, he's made like one successful script and a lot of movies that every time I'm like, there's a lot wrong with the story here.
To be fair, he made one good script, and that's more than we made. So
No, that's true. That's true. But it's like for someone who talks, I guess it's more just because he's so like big about it on Twitter and online and stuff. I think he's more of a lightning rod for it.
Yeah, but also like some of his stuff, like his independent like YouTube videos are written really well, and in his Superman comic I really enjoyed thus far.
Yeah.
So like maybe there's some truth to it, because also Craig McCracken did say there's a lot of politics involved in movies. So I'm not like giving Max Landis the pass at all, because I'm sure like like he probably did fuck up in some places because he has before, but there's probably more that we don't know about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if David Ayers did rewrite it. I mean, David Ayers also was a screenwriter before all the Suicide Squad nonsense. Like he wrote Training Day and all that stuff. But I don't know. I mean, who knows how it happened, or how Netflix, felt that they needed to cut it, or Will Smith changed stuff. Like there's so many. When you have all those egos, who even knows? But it just it seems like it happens a lot to Max Landis scripts. And like if he was just a screenwriter without all the online stuff, he wouldn't, just based on his work, is like his screenplays, I don't think he would have the reception without doing all the online stuff. Like, because there's lots of screenwriters who have a bad script now and then, and people go, okay, it's fine. But it's just like he doesn't have the filmography as much as I think he has the name, which is probably why people are a little more negative towards him.
Yeah. It's
also sad. Mr. No Name 2001 says the movie was so bad it made him, Max Landis, quit Twitter. No, he didn't quit Twitter for that, man.
That's the joke, Nolan.
He quit Twitter for that wasn't the joke. How do you know that was the Mr. No Name 2001 confirmed that was the joke or not?
No, I mean no. Oh wait, no. I guess I'm talking to Mr. No Name. It's like that's the joke, Mr. No Name. I think maybe I'm not. I don't know who said what now. I'm confused.
Aww.
No, Mr. No Name said the movie was so bad it made Max Landis quit Twitter, and I said no. He quit Twitter for other reasons, and I'm referring to his little accusation.
Oh, the allegations. Yeah.
Mr. No Name says
there was also. Did you hear about the rumor about Bright and that Netflix? And not everyone makes you do this, but a lot of people do. But apparently, specifically because of who he was, Netflix made him sign an NDA that included a non-disparage on social media clause, is the rumor. Because he's never said, he like basically did not talk about Bright when it was coming around. And it made it sound like he was not happy. But unless there's a tweet that I don't know about, but that was the rumor for a while, is that they made him sign something to be like, don't shit on our movie. And that apparently when he's developed other movies recently, they've been like, you have to sign this or we're not, we're going to fine you or we're not going to make this.
Ow.
That's just what, I mean, it's a big rumor. It's not confirmed, but that's kind of been going around for a while.
Yeah.
So.
It's so sad Butch is leaving the Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You know how this shit goes. Do you think
Butch Hartman feels Very Odd Parent lives don't matter?
Is Fairly Odd
You
Parents?
stole that from somebody in the stream.
Shut up!
Wow.
I was
Is-
gonna
Stole that
credit
from
them
Mr. No Name
afterwards.
2001.
I was gonna credit them.
Were you?
No, you
Mr. No
weren't,
Name
you
said
liar.
it. 2001.
Wait, is Fairly Odd Parents over? Or is it still going, or what happened?
I think it's on its last leg.
It's like if I were to compare if I were to compare Fairly Odd Parents to like a person, it would probably be like somebody who's been in a coma for like 7 years and their body is completely atrophied and they're connected to 50 million different tubes and like their heart is just barely beating and like their parent like has abandoned them to go do something else or have another kid, and then the doctor's like, we're kind of just wasting money like
Oh,
keeping them alive, so we might as well just pull the plug, even though they're barely a shell of their former selves,
I mean,
so it wouldn't really matter anyway.
Yeah, you might
And then
as well.
the nurse is just like smoking a cigarette in the room because this is just where all the nurses go to like take a break because they know nobody really gives a shit and they'll just like they can get away with doing anything.
and then like the
So they just
and then like the female Ghostbusters visit and just to entertain them and the other kids that are sick and dying.
yeah.
And
No,
the
yeah,
kids are like, He-Man, He-Man,
And then the kids,
Man.
the kids are also like, wait, this movie hasn't come out yet. Who are you people? What's going on? I don't know what Ghostbusters is.
And then while the doctors are checking up on this rhetorical patient, like they pull out their like defibrillator to charge their phone, and then like somehow they still live even though the plug was pulled on them for the time it took to
He's
charge their
trying.
phone. And then the doctor's like, "Oh shit!" and they plug it back in, and they're fine. That's what the Fairly Odd Parents is.
Yeah, so maybe it's still running on Nicktoons Network, but I haven't heard anything about like it finally ending for Rizzles.
Hey, it's gonna end.
I mean-
it's gonna die eventually.
The thing with Nickelodeon's always been known to like it's hard for them to support anything that's not SpongeBob. I mean, I guess Loud House is the only thing I've heard of them really successfully embracing and being, unless like there's something I'm forgetting, but
Mhm.
it just, I've always heard that it's like the worst network to be with. Like it's kind of like not a great situation, and maybe he was like, I'm gonna go make things for my pocket watch or something. So I guess
Yeah.
that worked.
It's like, fuck this shit, I am out.
Out with the trash.
Next bit of news.
I'm your basic average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me 'cause I'm impossible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got they're making a live action TV movie of Kim Possible. And-
Oh right.
Oh yeah, call me, beat me if you want to make live action adaptions that are bad.
I mean, it's a TV movie, so I'm like, this is gonna be pretty mediocre.
It's not gonna be all that great.
Nah. I mean, they're currently doing
know.
casting.
I think it'll be funny.
I mean, it's like
Who's working on it? Is it just this is something we're thinking of, or is there like anybody?
Disney's official Twitter tweeted like, "Hey, we're doing casting on the Disney's Kim Possible TV movie."
Oh, so it sounds like someone would be. I mean, unless they have somebody cool, I'm kind of like, eh.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
it feels like it's a little too soon to relish in Kim Possible nostalgia.
I don't know. We're approaching 2020, which is the apt time for 2000s nostalgia. So
Yeah.
Then it'll be my time to shine.
I think the golden rule now is if it's 20 years old, it's time to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the golden. Usually is. Sometimes you need. It's kind of on a case by case basis, because sometimes I feel like if you do it too early, it doesn't work, or if you wait too long,
Yeah.
you have to have that right. Like look at Jumanji, for fuck's sake. If you have the right thing, it like explodes. So
Yeah, I mean, like it's a little too early for the 2000s nostalgia. That's why Sunset Overdrive didn't catch on. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the new metal nostalgia. I've been waiting for that for a while.
boy.
I want people to be like, I got Limp Bizkit's Significant Other on vinyl, bro. Let's put it on.
Pan, Sunset Overdrive didn't catch on because it was on Xbox One.
True, that too. Everyone was like wanted Halo and nobody wanted Sunset Overdrive. I heard that they want to make a sequel, but they said, hey, we're looking for a publisher. So, you know, if anyone in the comments is a publisher, go publish Sunset Overdrive 2.
I like how you pity Insomniac so much. You're just like appealing to the comment section for a publisher.
Like, I don't know, the last news article I read is just like, hey, we're looking for a publisher and we can make Sunset Overdrive 2. Please help us. But no. Maybe Nintendo will be like, put this on. It'll go right next to Bayonetta and stuff. You know, please, Nintendo.
Does anybody here like Bayonetta?
Yeah.
Says Sega, and then fucking Hideki Kamiya's like, yeah, Nintendo does, and then Sega's like, anybody at all? Anybody like Bayonetta? Well, nope. Looks like we're not going to give you a sequel, and then Nintendo's like, don't worry, we got you, fam.
That reminds me of like the Jaws ride. Talk about the Jaws ride, Nesca.
What do you mean? Oh, I don't know. I guess when the Jaws ride came out at Universal, it was a real big failure because they had just one company pretty much build the whole thing like super quickly because Disney and Universal were kind of just like at each other's necks. And there was a point where the company was getting sued by Universal because it was such a big failure that they said something along the lines of, well, if we would have given this to Disney theme parks, their maintenance could have just taken it and made it work. So Universal goes, oh, fuck no. So they went ahead and hired like 3 or 4 different companies to do the 3 or 4 different sections of the ride.
It was just one gigantic dick measuring contest over Jaws.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Perger of Defunct Land covered that ride, and some other.
That's interesting. I didn't know. The only weird trivia thing I know about that ride is there was like an empty room there, and they told Spielberg about it, like near the ride where you could just watch everything. And apparently when like his life would get like a little too stressful, he would just go there and hang out and watch the Jaws ride for a little bit. And I was like that image of like the most successful person in Hollywood, just like sitting and watching a ride and nobody knew about it. Like he's just like, man, what am I gonna do about Schindler's List? And like Jaws comes out like, rah! Like,
yeah.
Well, they had something similar for the King Kong ride when they first made it. I guess like since the animatronic was like super ginormous, the head or the mouth or whatever, you can actually see the people who are riding. And the guy who made the animatronic, who came from, I guess like he was one of the original Imagineers for the Orlando park, I think. Like he would let people, like he would let celebrities and then just like regular everyday people who I guess got like the premium tickets actually just sit in the head while people were watching, because they were like, so essentially you can like view the ride through 2 different ways if you were lucky.
Whoa, yeah.
So
whoa, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if y'all want to know more cool theme park trivia, I recommend the channels Defunct Land, Offhand Disneyland,
and
Yesterworld Entertainment.
Yeah, Yesterworld's really great too.
And TPM Vids, Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. That's what he says every Disney video. They're all really great, and I want Kevin Perger on the podcast, but I don't know if that counts since this is an animation podcast, quote unquote.
Well,
Disney has a lot of animation, so you know they go hand in hand.
Yeah, and it's like rides that are made from the animations.
Hey, Kevin Perger, listen, hit me up, Nolan Trash Zone on Twitter. I got you.
I remember Disney was trying to make some sort of TV cartoon in the style of Gravity Falls. It was about like the theme parks after they close at night, and it's all the I guess it's like Night at the Museum but with theme parks or something.
Oh
yeah, they've been trying. I don't remember what it's called. They've been trying to do that as a movie also. That's a concept they've tried to do.
Oh yeah,
bunch of times.
I heard like the Iron Man director was going to be involved, but that never happened.
Yeah, like Jon Favreau like spent like a year on that, I heard. And then I'm like, but every time anyone talks about it, you go, yeah, we were working on it. And I'm like, but what about, like, how does that fail so often? I don't get it.
It's such a fun idea, but maybe what I'm worried is that maybe they'll be afraid that it'll get dated, you know, when they change the rides.
Well, it might also be because they probably have people going like, much like how how comic book companies go, you can only have Wolverine in so many issues in a month or in a 2-month period. They might be like, oh, we're going to have Iron Man in Infinity War, so we can't have Iron Man show up in this, or Mickey Mouse is going to do this coming up. So they don't want to, it's hard to like figure out how to not oversaturate everybody, because when Roger Rabbit came out, none of those cartoons were really doing anything. So it was like fine. But like now, with all the stuff they have going on, I'm sure it's like way harder to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, but next bit of news. Did anyone see the new video for Kingdom Hearts? Because they announced that not only Toy Story is going to be in the game, but also Monsters, Inc.
And we finally got to see Tangled after all this time in gameplay.
Tangled, too, yeah.
Actually, they talked about why they haven't shown it until now, like gameplay of Rapunzel. Ian? No, not Ian. I was thinking Ian Flynn, no, but Flynn Rider. The reason why they didn't show anything is because Rapunzel's hair was so fucking difficult to program and interact with the environment, and they like took forever. So basically, the reason why we don't have a Tangled 2 and now it's just 2D is because Rapunzel's hair is terrible and nobody wants to deal with it.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the gameplay footage of Tangle's hair. It still looks a little polygonal, but it does like attach to like actual objects, like Spider-Man, how it needs to attach to a tree or a tower for it to function. So I see how that would be really difficult.
Not only that though, but like Sully's hair too was just like they couldn't like pull off his fur, so they had to like do it in like layers.
From the back, it looks fine, but like when it gets to his head, it just looks very off. It looks like lint. But everything else looks amazing.
This game looks exactly like a Pixar movie, and that's scary.
Yeah, it's like I wonder, like, can the PS4 or maybe the PS5 when that comes out render Toy Story in real time, like the movie?
We're getting closer. We're getting closer every year.
Hopefully, yeah. But what do you think of like Goofy and Donald's designs and Sora in the Monsters Inc. world?
Sora is furry bait.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have strong opinions about Goofy. Goofy looks fugly.
He looks like a spore creature.
Yeah, I guess it's a nicer way to say it.
Yeah, I saw you said that on Twitter.
Okay, I don't think Sora really matches the style of the Monsters Inc. verse, but I think Goofy kind of does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they're starting to bring the thematics of each world into the Kingdom Hearts stories, like how Marluxia, like, abusively, like kept Naminé captive in Castle of Oblivion, and he's in the Tangled world, and all this other shit. Like, Vanitas is like, power of fear is better than the power of light and laughter and shit, and he's in the Monsters Inc. world.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of clever, and I'm not used to Kingdom Hearts being clever. So
it's all been distorted, but now it kind of has a theme to which villain goes where.
Yeah, which is weird because I'm so used to them just being like we're just going to retell the story of the Disney World, and that's it.
Yeah, but with like inserted characters.
And then the character from that world goes Sora, Donald, Goofy. Exactly in that order each and every time.
Yeah, exactly. At least this time they're going to be, different.
Mm-hmm. But next bit of news, let's see. Oh, the Grinch teaser.
Please. I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, it was only like a 30-second teaser, and it just looks... I mean, the animation looks good, but that's about it. And there's not really anything to talk about. But it's Illumination.
I don't know why Illumination really thinks they're going to do better than Chuck Jones, Boris Karloff. Like, the fucking balls on those guys.
I mean, it's like that other Grinch movie from the 2000s already. I don't know, it still feels too fresh to do that again.
See, the thing is, like, the Grinch still does really well on TV. I understand, like, they think it's, like, still a hot property, but it's like that specific thing is hot. Like, people don't want... Isn't it Benedict Cumberbatch as a Grinch or something? Yeah. Like, nobody wants that story, like, crappier and newer. Like, that's just, like, I don't get it. Like, just, like, stop. Did you hear that story about the makeup artist who had, like, basically had to take, like, a sabbatical because of how mean Jim Carrey was to him? There was, like, I read it, some makeup artist was saying how Jim Carrey was, like, so bad that people literally had to, like, say something to him. Like, they're like you've gone, like, way too far, like, basically, like, torturing this makeup artist.
Oh.
And, like, because he would go, like, he would start working on him, and some days he'd come in and go, why are you using a different shade of green? And he'd be like, I mean, I'm not. And he goes, well, you are. Go make it look like yesterday. And he'd just, like, hang out in a closet for a little bit and come back and go, okay, sorry, I messed up.
Oh.
And, like, but he would just, like, constantly fuck with him. And, like, he said, like, he basically left... They had to basically, like, pay him more to come back because Jim Carrey was such an asshole.
God.
Which sort of makes sense if you saw that Netflix documentary about his behavior on Man on the Moon. I was like, oh, okay. So he was like, did you see the documentary? It's like, it's all the behind the scenes stuff on Man on the Moon. And it was basically like he had shot what was going to be a press kit for the movie of him basically going so method and like being an asshole like Andy Kaufman sometimes was, but instead of Andy Kaufman like knew the line and would only do that for the cameras, whereas Jim Carrey acted like an asshole all the time on set, like while he was filming or not. And he was just like so hard to deal with, and like he would just drive around the set like being Tony Clifton or Andy Kaufman. And I think he like got too big too quickly. If you read about like in '94, it was like what, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura all came out in 1 year.
Mhm.
Like I think he just blew up too big, and I think it like fucking messed with him.
Yeah, all
You know.
three of those have a cartoon, by the way.
No, yeah. No, well, that's how big it was. Like, can you name another actor who each of those movies were $100 million? Each of them were talked about a ton, and each of them appealed to both adults and kids like
Yeah.
that quickly. Like, even The Rock didn't even, like, it's unfathomable how big he
Yeah.
got.
But did you see that video recently where Jim Carrey's at some award show and he's just like, feels like he lost all faith in the world and he's like, none of this matters. This award show, it's all meaningless.
Hey, Jim Carrey. Yes.
What?
I've covered a lot of fashion weeks. This is the first time I've run into Jim Carrey. Wait, tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're
I
celebrating.
mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe in
icons, boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
Everything's terrible.
Yeah, he has started to do that. I know he's had a rough couple of years. Like his girlfriend like killed herself, and like the family like sort of blamed him on it. And he also helped bankroll the whole autism vaccines cause autism thing, because Jenny McCarthy was his girlfriend at the time, and he helped pay for a lot of that stuff. But so I know he's had like kind of a weird couple of years, but I sort of wish he would just be good in a movie again. Like I'm kind of sick of just like gossip. I mean, it's funny to hear about the Grinch thing and how ridiculous he was, but I'm like, he was a good actor in in the Truman Show and a couple of things, Integral Sunshine. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Grinch movie looks hard.
Yeah, but the last thing I remember hearing Jim Carrey in a movie was Kick-Ass 2, and that was forever ago.
Oh yeah, and that was supposed to, but how that got ruined, wasn't there some school shooting or something around the time? And then he disowned that movie. Remember that?
Yeah, he didn't want to promote it after like a school shooting. He thought it was encouraging
God.
violence.
Yeah, he's like self-destructive, because it's like that was kind of going to be his sort of a bit of a comeback. But
Yeah.
I'm sure like all the studios were like, look, morally we agree, but you're also like throwing us under the bus. So I mean, we're not going to put you in a Marvel movie, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not going to reboot The Mask, sadly.
Yeah, or reboot Batman Forever.
I mean, I think maybe they should reboot The Mask, since Deadpool's popular, and like, hey, let's go for the R-rated Mask like the comics was.
I mean, didn't they try to reboot it with Son of Mask?
That's what I meant. No.
What's Jamie Kennedy doing? Let's get Jamie Kennedy back.
Oh, we can get him on the
Jamie
podcast.
Kennedy done like ever?
He was what was he?
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Fuck, I take it back. Man. Jamie Kennedy is the hot topic.
That one E3 presentation where he was showing off Activision's new video games, and it's the saddest, most terrible part stand-up, part.
I remember. Didn't I show you that?
Yeah,
I showed you that.
It hurts to watch. I'll
That
play
was
some
years
clips
ago.
of it, but it's a pain to sit through. It's like, if I was ever like presenting for something, I think this is realistically how it would go.
How's everybody doing? This is exciting. We're at E3, and I just want to say this place is the only place that makes the guys at Comic-Con look like Ocean's 13. Take a minute. Come on, that was... video games, they've been. Where are my jokes?
Yeah, but
I'm actually gonna be in your defense, and I'd say give yourself some credit. You're not as bad as Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'd compare you more to the Konami 2010 E3 presentation where that one guy just like gestures to the screen and like lights up his face, and then everybody just awkwardly claps.
No, I think I would end up like that one time Michael Bay was showing off like a Samsung TV at a presentation, and he just cringed up and just walked away. Classic. Yeah. Okay, I guess the last bit of news is I just want to say the Woody Woodpecker movie has finally been released. It's on Netflix and DVD, and okay, I saw it at like 5 a.m. Like I wanted to sleep, but I was like, no, I have to see this at 5 a.m.
Remember me? That's how you do things the Woody way.
Woody Woodpecker on DVD and digital February 6th.
Within this movie, Woody Woodpecker shits on two people.
Yeah.
Like physically shits on them? Or
oh yeah.
Just like is mean to them.
He does take a shit on people, and like he shits on someone's ice cream cone, and that person eats the ice cream cone.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So anyway, Netflix is making some really good content.
Yeah, they're trying. Look, one of these is gonna be good, you know. Imagine if, like, at the Super Bowl, like instead of promoting the new Cloverfield, they just say, "Hey, Woody Woodpecker, it's coming out and it's coming on Netflix tonight."
I wonder if the head of Netflix was like, was sitting around and go, "Man, have you ever heard that theory? If you put 1,000 chimpanzees, each with a different typewriter, one of them would write Hamlet. What if we did that shit, but with movies?"
You know,
Yeah.
eventually Netflix is gonna get their shit together again. Like, I mean, animation's doing well, but I don't know what's with their movie department.
Yeah, I mean, that Godzilla animated thing, but I'm glad that it got more people saw it because of that Netflix thing. So
yeah, you guys want to get into the questions?
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to.
I'm so sad.
Shh. I just want to say, like, we have the fan DeviantArt and the fan junk playlist.
Junk playlist.
If you have any YouTube videos relating to Rebel Taxi or the podcast, send them to me at rebeltaxi@yahoo.com, and I'll put them in the playlist. Links below. But for questions, if anybody has a question, be sure to start out with the word question so it's easier to find. And our first question is from, hang on, Derek.
This is a very good podcast, by the way, Pam. Very good job.
Look, we don't have a guest today, so like
It's always a good podcast.
We don't-
Every single one.
we don't have a guest today, so it's like we just have to go to questions because there's something else to talk about. I mean,
Did we
Nesca
talk
here-
about? Did you talk about the animated feature thing before? Or
what animated feature thing?
Boss Baby and all that?
Oh, yeah, we talked about it last time.
Okay, I thought so, but
Oh,
never
wow.
mind.
But
Fuck it.
did you have something to say about the Oscars and the award season?
I mean, I could talk about that if you want me to kill
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, let me just announce the good news to everyone that with the recent Annie Awards, Pickle Rick, the episode is now the award-winning Pickle Rick. And was it Emmy winning or Annie winning?
Annie.
The-
I want an Annie.
Yes,
Annie
it won an Annie. It is an official award-winning episode, Pickle Rick.
Go to your local McDonald's.
Yeah, support your local fast foodery. But Jim, what you got to say about the Oscars, or what Jim calls it?
Oh yeah, I just thought the whole thing, because they changed the voting for that because of the Lego Movie getting snubbed.
What?
They changed the voting, and this was the first year they changed, so it wasn't just animation people; it was everyone in the Academy could vote for the nominations.
Yeah.
And they did that because they're like, well, popular movies aren't getting voted in, and this way, Lego Batman theoretically would get in.
Oh.
And then that did not happen. And for some reason, Boss Baby and Ferdinand got in instead, which I
Damn.
thought was kind of funny. Is like they went out of their way to make sure Lego Batman would get in, and they somehow fucked that up. I just
Who
thought-
won?
No one. The awards haven't happened yet.
Yeah, but I
And I think Coco. It's like sort of Coco's to lose, but the only good things about it is that I thought Breadwinner and Loving Vincent wouldn't get in there, and I'm kind of glad that that's still going on. So because you had to show that you had seen 10 animated films of the screeners they sent you, and then 4 others throughout the year. So just like some jerk who saw 2 Pixar's or something couldn't vote. Basically, you had to
Actually
prove
watch it.
somehow you had seen all these movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, because there was that one time
That's an
when
improvement.
I think what the year Frozen was nominated, like there were just like confessions by the people who were voting, and they were like, "I don't care about this animation crap. I just pick Disney."
I mean, that's kind of still what's going to happen. But I guess my greatest fear going into this year was that Cartoon Saloon and smaller studios wouldn't get nominations anymore. And I'm glad that happened. And then 2 female directors were nominated, which is the first time that's happened in animation.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like there were good things, but it was like Boss Baby and Ferdinand. I don't think anyone really saw that coming. It's like
yeah, especially fucking Ferdinand.
I mean, Blue Sky, I know, is like not in a great space right now because with the Fox Disney merger, it looks like they're just going to be out of a job, or be
just
sold
merged
off.
into Disney. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like they're going to be merged into. It sounds like they're just going to be, they're
Taken
like,
over.
so we're not going to do anything with you, so just die, I guess.
Go home
know.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, it is only the second time they've been nominated since Ice Age. Yeah. But the one Oscar fact I found was interesting. The only people who've won more than one animated feature are all Pixar people. It's Brad Bird, Andrew Stanton, Pete Docter, and when Lee Ulrich wins, he'll have 2 as well.
Yeah,
but anyway, sorry, that was just me going on about nonsense. Let's do the question.
Yeah. But our first question is by Derek Fulkerson. If another fictional universe had their own Suicide Squad, what universe would you choose? Like, I guess basically like a team of villains. Which story do you want a team of villains in?
Danny Phantom.
Yes.
Didn't they do that like in prison episode?
No, that doesn't count because Danny had to team up with them. This has to be the villains acting autonomously from the heroes.
Well, I think my favorite sort of Suicide Squad in a cartoon was Duck Dodgers, when all of Duck Dodgers' enemies just wanted to go against them, and Duck Dodgers just didn't even recognize any of them. But what has a good what's called a rogues gallery of villains? I
mean, like Spider-Man does, but that would just be Sinister Six. So.
Yeah,
true.
That movie ain't never happening.
No,
they released the Venom teaser, but it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what Venom's the weirdest movie because even big Hollywood reporters are like, I don't know how this movie, like why Tom Hardy's in it, like what. The guy who did, I think it's the guy who did 30 Minutes or Less in Zombieland is directing it. Yeah, I think it's, I might be, I should look that up.
Who knows? But like the teaser for Venom is like, well, that was a thing. Like, it didn't get me excited or anything. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the guy who made Zombieland, 30 Minutes or Less, Gangster Squad, and this.
I'm sure they can do action if they try.
If they try hard enough.
Yeah, although isn't it going to be like a horror movie?
It didn't look like it was going to be a horror movie.
I don't know, but I'm trying to think what fictional villains from a universe. What hasn't been done? I don't even know.
I mean, Suicide Squad's not as an idea. It could be a cool idea.
Yeah,
but because I don't think you could even do it as much with Marvel as well as you could do with DC, because Marvel's villains aren't great. So,
I don't know. But the next question from the chat, Psycho SoCal says, "Question: have you played Doki Doki Literature Club?"
Yeah.
Anyone?
I have.
Oh, tell us about it since you're the only one here that played it.
Oh, it's very kawaii, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, it's really freaking cute, and it's like, aw, but then they kind of just go all batshit crazy.
Yeah, I kind of watched the...
It's actually really fun because I think, if I remember correctly, because I was watching other people play it, I didn't really play it, but, like, my roommates were playing it, but, like, it messes with your computer where, like, you have to go open up files and stuff like that, and I don't know, like, it's really interactive.
Like, I'm scared?
Like, it's freaking weird.
Have you played Nesca, have you played the game I'm Scared?
I'm Scared? No, I haven't.
It's like a really low poly 3D pixel game. I say low poly pixel because it's like very simple geometry, but all of the textures are pixelated, and it also messes around with your computer.
Yeah, all I know is that Doki Doki Literature Club, like the fact that it was like screwing with the computer was freaking cool. Like that's like the only part that I thought was like really, really cool. That and once you like restart or you finish the game essentially and you have to go back and go to your save, it just fucks with your save file. And then like the
Yeah.
I don't know, it's really weird if you don't know exactly what you're getting yourself into.
Well, you just spoiled it, so great. Now all the surprise is gone. Thanks.
Yay.
Ruined forever. Great.
Confetti. Who cares?
No,
do.
I'm
It's
sure I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, like I mean, there's a lot more you can do.
I have yet to play it because I hear it's like 4 hours long, and I'm like, I don't got time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time to play a 4-hour game anymore, and that makes me really sad.
Damn.
I've only played like Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing recently because it's a really fucking fun kart racer.
Yeah.
And if I Pan, upgrade your computer so you can play it with me.
Okay, I gotta buy a PC. As soon as like all that, I know like with the Bitcoin rush, like everyone's just buying all these PC parts, and it's like, what am I gonna do? When's this gold rush gonna end? You know? Is it over?
I know, but you said you liked the drifting mechanic, and Sonic and All Stars Racing is built entirely around the drift.
Oh yeah. So my favorite Mario Karts were the DS one and the one on GameCube, and they have this drifting mechanic that can be easily exploited, where you can just keep boosting. But I started playing Mario Kart Deluxe, which is amazing, but I realized, wait a minute, the drifting's not the same. You can't exploit this thing anymore. And it's like, no, give us back snaking, which is what it was called. But no, but apparently Sega All Stars Racing has that, and it's like, that's what I need.
I don't think it's snaking per se, but the entire game is built around like your the max potential, because it levels up 3 times, and you can also like chain together drifts and like switch in between drift directions, so you can like upgrade your chain faster. It's so much fun.
Sweet, yeah. Nintendo, please put in drift snaking again. Give us back our snaking. But next question. Let's see. Sweet Manzara says, question, are you guys gonna watch Last Man? Like Nesca here keeps recommending it to me.
Oh, we could actually watch it today with Tsundere Girl.
Yeah, Last Man. It's a show on Verve, that thing with Frederator and Rooster Teeth streaming.
It's really good. I actually have a friend who's friends with the guy who animated the Last Man show.
What's Last Man about?
I don't want to say, because then I feel like it's going to be all spoilery.
Okay, it's an action show.
It's an action show, and it's really good. I know they were on Kickstarter at some point.
Yeah.
And they had to let go of a lot of people because they weren't getting money, but I guess it was like one of those Kickstarter things where people put money towards it, and it's on Verve, like you said.
Yeah, so is Last Man an Ass Man?
No. You stop that.
Yeah. All right. I guess next question. Zoe Stanley, hey, if you could live in a specific art style where everything you see looks like it was drawn from it, which one would you choose? I would like to live in the Venture Brothers art style, she says.
Challenge Showdown. That'd be fun.
Yeah, everything's so smooth in Challenge Showdown, like the pen work. But I would live in the Mission Hill verse, where everything's neon and blacklit.
One Punch Man.
One Punch.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Yusuke Murata One Punch Man world.
Won't you fucking die in that world?
It's art style.
Okay, I suppose.
Or Moonbeam
but
City.
I could also train to be a hero. So
yeah.
That's all I got to do.
Yeah.
Also, other bit of news, because it just showed up on my Twitter feed. There's new screenshots for the One Piece open world game releasing later this year.
Oh yeah, that looks really cool. I haven't really cared about One Piece since it was on 4Kids when I was a stupid child, but that game looks pretty cool. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Just Cause, with the grappling mechanic, where you're Luffy and you're just swinging across the town.
Yeah, but you're also a rubber man.
Do you just play as Luffy, or is other characters playable?
I'm not sure. I don't know how many details they've released of it yet.
Yeah, because I'm kind of tired that every anime game is basically a fighter. I kind of want like just a grand adventure of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish they did the J-Stars, but better.
Yeah, make that like an open world game. Well, maybe not open world, like level by level. Just give us more to explore. Because I kind of hate that playing games where it's just an arena. I want to explore. Question, Zod Dragoner says, question, any commercials that many found offensive but you guys felt was overblown?
Most all of them.
I mean, like commercial, that's like very specific. I don't know what commercial would be offensive.
There's like a controversial commercial every week,
Yeah, I think a lot of them are over people. Like, what was that kid the kid with the monkey shirt, and there was a black
yeah.
kid.
Oh yeah,
everyone
like
was
there was
upset.
I think it was H&M, I believe, where they had a photo.
Yeah, something like I was kind of like, I mean, it doesn't look good, but I think I've seen tons of kids with that kind of a shirt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like the little kid's mom was like, "Oh, you guys need to stop being so sensitive." That she didn't really care either, which is why she let her kid do that.
Yeah, it was basically a picture modeling for a clothing line. It was just like a black kid with a T-shirt that says "Proud Monkey," I think.
Yeah, it was like, but it wasn't like, you know, I don't think it. I sort of get what they were trying to say it was saying, but I was like, yeah, but like little kids, like anytime you're with, you know, you see a bunch of like 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, you know, a large majority will have monkey shirts,
Yeah, kids love
regardless of
monkeys,
race
you
or
know?
gender. Yeah, it's like sort of like kind of a thing you call little kids. So it's
Oh.
just like I don't know.
Yeah, it said "Coolest monkey in the jungle." Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I don't know. I think a lot of times when people get like really offended by commercials, I mean, I'm offended by the fact that every commercial is like the same thing, where it's like, hey, are you not using our product and being a stupid idiot? Why don't you use our product and then be a smart, you know, well-adjusted person who, like, they're all the same ad. It's like kind of like you'll see some doofus going like, I can't cook hot dogs. Why did I buy these hot dogs? And the other person's like, I bought the best hot dogs, and I make $1 million and have a gold-plated Ferrari because I buy these hot dogs.
Okay, there was this commercial for, I think, Ford or Toyota, some truck company, where it was a focus group of like little kids saying, okay, here's a picture of your dad, but next to this car, and what do you think of him? He looks lame. And then they show a picture of the dad, but with a Ford truck, and it's like, man, that guy looks cool. And it just looks, it's just like, fuck, you don't have a truck? Well, fuck you.
Can a truck make you more handsome? More dependable? More rugged? We came here to find out. We talked to real people, not actors, including kids. We showed them 2 pictures of the same guy in the same location. The only difference? The vehicle behind him.
Which guy is more handsome?
Left. Guy with the truck.
He just looks, you know, more ba-bam.
Which man is sexier?
Truck, yeah.
Which one of these 2 guys would you rather have date your daughter?
This guy is definitely the guy your mom wants you to marry, and this is the guy you're going to run off to and leave him to be with him.
That truck is going to protect my little girl, and I'm always concerned about getting her home safe.
I wish one of those kids was like, if that was my dad, I would love him or something.
Oh, yeah.
This reminds me of the commercial on Friends where Joey Tribbiani is like trying to open the milk and he can't. And he's like, "Oh man, there's got to be a better way." And they give him like the milk straw thing where he pokes a hole in the milk carton with this thing and he can just pour the milk.
Yes, I
He's too stupid to open the milk carton.
Oh, that's how we eat the what are those Capri Sun? Yeah, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like that, but for milk cartons.
It works for Capri Sun. It can work for milk, you know.
No, but they were selling it under the guise that you're too stupid to not know how to open a milk carton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why it was so funny.
I mean, I don't know. Commercials are always kind of, you know, even the Super Bowl, it's like I like the movie trailers, but most of the commercials is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage rapped and it had something to do with Doritos. I don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but next question, Jack Tollsman. Question: what is your favorite great moment in an otherwise mediocre or terrible movie? Mine would have to be the moment in Spider-Man 3 when Sandman is born. Just the part where he can't pick up his daughter's locket and his weird hands, his sand hands, is more emotionally represented and powerful than pretty much every aspect of every Spider-Man film afterwards.
I mean, that
was a good part.
I'm not going to disagree with that because the Sandman stuff at the beginning of the movie, I sort of wish there was just a Sandman Spider-Man movie because that was a good. That was actually those parts were good. I agree with that person. There's always like every now and then there's a part in a movie that's not very good that I'm like, oh man, if the whole movie was this, like
Up, the beginning of Up.
Rude.
I mean, God, I can't think of an example of like because there's so. But the problem with these movies that have like one is that actually I can think of two that are recent movies. So this sort of works. So at the beginning of The Commuter, which I'm sure everyone's still thinking about, they had this really cool sequence where you see him getting up, Liam Neeson get up every morning, and it keeps intercutting with like every different time, his morning routine with his family, and sometimes his son is fighting with them, sometimes his son is sick, sometimes his son is this, and it was like actually a cool sequence, but they ruined it by like intercutting between like starring Liam Neeson kind of things.
Yeah.
But it was actually like a pretty inspired sequence, because afterwards, like I totally knew who the wife was, I knew who the son was, I knew who Liam Neeson was, I know that he read the books along with his son in high school. Like I knew all this backstory, and I was like, wow, I wonder if this movie's going to be good, and it wasn't at all.
Oh.
But that one section, and it probably could have been handled better, but it was like sort of inspired, because I was like, oh, like everyone has that morning routine and how each day is different. And, anyway, I thought it was cool.
I guess one good moment in a mediocre film, Dr. Manhattan's story in the Watchmen movie.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, a lot of people would say that works as its own like short film.
I mean, there's probably like too many examples. I'm trying to think of something else, but there's like so many examples of that.
The animation sequences in Tank Girl.
Oh man, I don't remember that movie well.
Yeah, no one wants to remember.
I don't think nobody remembers Tank Girl. Nobody cares about Tank Girl.
I'm sure Ice-T is
ouch to Tank Girl.
Ice-T is glad that he got paid for that, so just be thankful. Yeah.
I'm more impartial to Ice Cube.
Well, everybody likes Ice Cube more than Ice-T,
Yeah. Who had the better shitty films, Ice Cube or Ice-T?
Or Ice Cuba Gooding Jr.
Ice-T probably has more embarrassing, whereas Ice Cube, like he was in Friday and Boys in the Hood and Three Kings. Like Ice Cube has a good filmography.
Yeah,
he was also in Are We There Yet?
Oh yeah,
okay.
True.
Okay, how about the post 2000s Ice Cube with Are We There Yet and stuff?
Oh yeah, actually, all the Ice Cube things I mentioned were from the 90s. Well, okay, he was 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Okay, yeah,
that's the only thing I can think. And Book of Life for a second, where he's like, "It was a good day."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Let's see. Next question.
Here's a good one that made me really hungry. PJ Martian says, "Question. This question is a Tide Pod."
Boo.
Oh, the Tide Pod ad or whatever.
What?
No, he just said the question is a Tide Pod.
Oh.
Do we eat it? I don't understand.
Yeah, I want to eat it.
I don't get the Tide Pod. So people are eating them. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, people are being stupid and eating Tide Pods because they look like candies.
Well, maybe hear me out on this. Maybe these people know we're overpopulated and are doing the Earth a service by offering themselves eating laundry detergent.
That's exactly what one of my roommates said. They said it's like
Darwinism.
just another
population control.
Maybe this is voluntary Darwinism. Like they're purposefully going like, my existence is destroying the Earth, so I will eat laundry detergent.
Yeah.
If that is the case, kudos to you. I'm going to clap.
It was like that cult that said, "Save the environment, kill yourself." That one cult.
Yeah. Here's another question from J Reanimated. Question: Nolan, are you ready? Pan, I want you to edit in Lisa from the room saying, "I'm always ready." You.
What? From where?
From the movie The Room with Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Lisa Simpson.
No, it's from The Room, the movie, where Greg's sister goes, "Are you ready for the party?" And she goes, "I'm always ready for you."
God, I barely watched The Room like a few weeks ago for the first time ever. I've only seen clips of it, but like, wow, I saw it all the way through for the first time, and it was like, this is incredible. Like, but what
you need to watch it with a group. Watching it with a group
saw
is
it in like a
life-changing.
theater screening. Like people were.
Yeah, that's the best.
I mean, I hadn't really sat down and watched it until I was like, I'm going to see The Disaster Artist, so I better watch this movie. And it was like, I don't know how they even did that. I feel like they don't know how they did that.
Yeah.
It's like an accident, like someone messed around with a chemistry set and then they made a monster and they're like, holy shit, I don't even know what they did. Like,
I mean, like
that scene where he's buying the flowers, the sound editing in that is horrible and beautiful at the same time.
I mean, it's like, it's clearly ADR where they just recorded over their own audio.
Yeah. but it's intense.
But
it's like Johnny.
I didn't know it was you. Oh, hi, doggy.
Hi, doggy.
But
My favorite customer. Thanks a lot. Bye.
I mean, you can't even. They try to recreate in the Disaster Artist some of that stuff. I'm like, you can't, except for the girl who plays Lisa in the Disaster Artist. She was really good. Like, she was actually pretty close to.
But I feel like the most amazing thing about The Room is the fact that they got the birthday song, like somehow got the license to use "Happy Birthday."
Oh wow! Or isn't it now in the public domain? Or
Now it is, but like at the time in 2002 when this was made, I don't think it was.
Well, maybe that's how Tommy Wiseau has all that money.
Oh my God!
People theorize Tommy Wiseau is actually D.B. Cooper.
Who?
D.B. Cooper was a mysterious man in a suit with black hair and sunglasses with an unplaceable accent who hijacked a plane and managed to make off with millions of dollars, which at the time of inflation would be exponentially more now than it was then in the 70s. And nobody knows who he is. His drawing looks suspiciously like Tommy Wiseau, and nobody knows where Tommy Wiseau came from. So the theory
now.
So the theory is that Tommy Wiseau was actually D.B. Cooper, and all the stolen money from the plane was made from was used to make The Room, which was $6 million, and nobody knows where Tommy Wiseau got all that.
Wow.
So that's the theory.
Yeah.
And I agree with it wholeheartedly. I think Tommy Wiseau is D.B. Cooper.
Now, when you buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1, you'll get Sonic 2 absolutely free. This free Sonic 2 is a $54.99 value. You get 2 Sonics for the price of 1. Sonic 2 fits easily into any tackle box. Made from a space-age polymer plastic for years of family fun, and pets love it too. Buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1 and get Sonic 2 free. Act now. Wiener Dog Sweater sold separately.
Oh, I have a personal question that I want to ask all of you.
Okay.
Okay, have you ever... what was the video game that you played that made you say, wow, graphics can't get any better than this?
I remember saying that when Sonic 2 came out, because I'm old as crap. So.
Damn.
Fuck, you're old.
Like, I do remember, like, first playing a Sega Genesis and going, like, whoa, we have progressed this far.
Yeah.
And it was, like, 92, so, you know.
My parents never really let me play video games when I was younger. I mean, I had a Game Boy Advance, and then my mom or my dad took it away from me to the point where when I found it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I owned this. So that's why I do Let's Plays with Ben.
Yeah, to relive the childhood you never had, just like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but without the
Yeah.
weird phase.
Yeah, sure. But I for me, like, the thing that... Yeah, but for me, the thing that, like, made me say, wow, it can't get any better than this was Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube, because... it looks so smooth compared to the 64, but now when you look at it, it just looks like freaking candle wax figures. But Mario Kart 8 looks fucking amazing. I want to see where they go from there.
Yeah. Sonic 06 for me was it, because of all the cutscenes, which still look pretty good.
Yeah, the pre-rendered cutscenes look good, not everything else.
Some parts of the game look okay. Not everything else looks like dot shit.
Yeah. Oh, we got a
mostly the next gen models for Sonic and the game look good.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question. Dodger Tiger Yankee says, question, Pan, how was your visit to Blockbuster, and how is the scheduling for the podcast going to work if you're going to do the 100 episode at MomoCon? I don't know. We're going to try to space out these podcasts, like go on a break and replace the podcast Tuesdays with like maybe a party review where it's just like a, you know, it roughly is like a podcast where we just talk about a movie and review it.
Podcast, which number is this one?
96.
Oh, shit.
I think. Or 95.
I mean, we could just do like skip 100 and then refer to it like it had happened. And then when we recorded at MomoCon, only refer to news things that happened when the 100th one would have happened.
Retroactive, yeah.
That sounds complicated.
It's like a prequel series, you know? A prequel
podcast.
It
would be like, oh man, I can't believe, like, you know, Ted Danson came on and turned into a dragon and then, like, tried to fight Izzy and then Nolan killed the dragon.
Yeah, something like that.
Make up some random story.
We'll see, but our trip to Blockbuster, because yesterday me and Sundere and Nesca went to a Blockbuster, and that place was depressing. This is, keep in mind, we're recording this in 2018, so there's a Blockbuster in my town that's closing down, and that place is like so run down. All the DVD cases are
Sun bleach.
Yeah, they're all bluish, like the ink just evaporated.
Yeah, it was really sad. And then I think it was like $3 for some movies that, like, if it didn't have a cover, you can get it for $3. Like, it was like 10 for 20 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, the candy that they were selling was expired. There was like a gumball machine where there was dust inside the gumballs and stuff.
Yeah.
You should do a personal appearance at that Blockbuster. Be like, meet Pan Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Blockbuster.
Oh my god, yes, that'd be so cool. Great. Just have my stand there selling autographs. Like, yeah.
Just bring your stuff and he'll sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one knows what you look like, so you could just have anybody show up and be like, hey, yo, it's me, Pan Pizza. I like pizza. I like pizza so much, they say it practically is one. Yeah, I hate Teen Titans. I don't know. Sign this. Yeah.
I mean, it's like a Save the Rec Center sort of deal where it's like, come on, guys, we gotta like save this Blockbuster. It's history. Otherwise, I think the only ones that are left are in Alaska and maybe some state no one cares about. Some flyover.
Hey,
state.
goth girls, I'll sign any Blockbuster Hollywood video thing for you.
Yeah, it's like, find me a Hollywood video. Find me a Hollywood video that has a Game Crazy still active. Oh, yeah, but, let's see, next question. We're an hour and 9 minutes into this podcast, barely. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
We have to think of something quick to save the show.
To save the show.
Well, I mean, like, assuming the pre-show is 10 minutes,
Yeah, the pre-show is pretty good. We can just put that... We can just cut back to that at this point in a flashback. Remember, I remember like it was yesterday.
Hey, remember the pre-show we recorded earlier?
No, let's just do the Pizza Party Podcast clip show, and we just remember thing randomly.
Remember that time we did that Futurama episode?
Do you remember that one time we had Monkey Jones on?
Wait, we did?
Yeah, that was last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Remember that one time when we had Gamer first on?
Hey, question, crap. Stick Nick says, question, the Deadpool 2 trailer, what you guys think? I mean, it looked funny, but I don't know what to say about it. But I just like the fact that we actually see Cable, even though I have no idea who he is outside the video game.
He's a character.
He's a guy.
Dude.
I like Deadpool's retelling of the story with action figures and referencing Toy Story.
I mean, I like the Justice League joke, but it looks. I mean, I'm not the biggest Deadpool person, but I'm excited for Cable. I'm curious because it's done by the guy who did one of the John Wick people. I'm curious how that's all going to work. But it's not the same director, so I'm a little like. I know people are a little worried, but I think
it's what the original director went on to work on Sonic the Hedgehog the movie.
If that's ever happened.
Well, just like I don't know how involved he really is. I think he's doing the Terminator movie.
Yeah.
He's doing the new Terminator trilogy with James Cameron.
Because is he fucking done with Avatar yet?
No, he'll get around. Him doing Avatar is like some kid telling his mom, like, I'll take up the trash. It's not an issue. Like, it's been piling up for 10 years.
God damn it, James Cameron. Just finish your shit already.
But no, so Tim Miller's doing a Terminator thing. That's what but I don't know about this I'm excited for Cable, but this is going to be the summer of Josh Brolin. Between Infinity War, the Sicario sequel, and Deadpool 2, we're going to see a lot of Josh Brolin's ass. So, which is cool. He's a good actor. But he looks like a cool Cable. I like the metal arm joke. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be the John Wick director, I'm sure the action will be a lot better because, I mean, I don't feel like the action was all that good in the first Deadpool. Okay, Black Dog 699 says, question, who has the better tsunderes, cartoons or anime? Yeah, they're all good obviously. In the neighborhood, so it's all fine.
And they're more adult-oriented anime, so they have a much more diverse pool of tsunderes.
Yeah. Oh, I should tell you all anime. The fucked up anime I saw. It's called Mysterious Girlfriend X. It's about this emo girl and like this guy who has a crush on this emo girl. So already I was hooked. And then I slowly realized, well, let me tell you what happens in this episode. The girl falls asleep in class and she just drools all over her desk. And this guy goes to her desk after everyone leaves class and decides to like put his finger on the drool and taste the drool, and then he gets a fever, and the girl comes to him and says, "You have to swallow my drool every day or else you'll get sick and die." And it becomes a romance story about like them drool. Well, just I don't know. She just puts her finger in her own mouth, gets a wad of drool, and puts it in his mouth every day. And yeah, it's a drool fetish anime.
I don't want that.
Yeah,
I don't want
that. Feels gross.
That sounds weird.
Look, I kind of sort of like it. It's kind of like a weird fairy tale, sort of like all the music. Like I don't know. Never mind. Let's get into the next question. Nolan, you pick a question.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Oh, geez, gotta purge that from my memory.
I mean, here's one, but oh crap, here's the topical one. Dean something says, Dean Bice question. What are your thoughts on the new TMNT image that was released for the new cartoon?
I don't like how Raphael looks. Everybody else looks all right. Dontel has a really good head.
I mean, okay, I see they're going for like a more Gendy Tartakovsky looking style, which I really love. But I want to see it in motion first, because I'm like wondering how this is gonna look in motion. But it looks really good. I mean, well, somewhat good. I mean, I'm not 100% on the style yet, how lean some of them are. But I see they changed the weapons for some of them. Like Raphael no longer has a sai. He has like those things police beat me with, you know? And Michelangelo has like a yo-yo thing. I don't know what it is. April O'Neil's black now, but she was black in the first comic, so I guess whatever.
Yeah, I think with a series where Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and it constantly gets reboots, it's fine to play with like their races, like Mexican, black, whatever. They're going to get rebooted. They can be interpreted any which way since they've changed creator hands so many times.
Yeah, I mean, like, although I feel it's too soon after the Nickelodeon one, because the Nickelodeon one is still on its final season, and they're already like cranking out a whole new Turtles cartoon.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, it's an IP that they have rights to, so I'm sure they're gonna just keep exploiting it till it's dead.
Nickelodeon bought the rights to TMNT, and now they're just gonna fucking use that till the end of time.
What? Why do they have always, when they reboot cartoon shows now, they always put like celebrity or like kind of like character actors in the voices, and just hire like voice actors like they used to? What's up with that?
No,
I don't like that. No. Get like some real voice actors. I'm sick of like the third guy down from Parks and Rec being in my cartoons.
Oh, this reminds me how I believe in the CGI 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon, there was some celebrity voice actor who, I don't know, I think for promotion, I think the official Ninja Turtles Twitter attached all the Twitters together from all these individual actors, and I think one of them made like an incest joke or something, and all these kids saw it, so they're like, you know what? Get the fuck out of our thing, and they replaced him with Seth Green.
Was it Johnny Knoxville?
Maybe? I don't even remember.
Because I remember he was like attached and then they revoiced him or something.
Oh no, it was in the cartoon series, not the movies.
Oh, sorry.
What series is this?
The 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon, the CG one. Yeah, so
I don't know.
I mean, if Izzy was here, she would know what happened exactly. But basically, I believe they have a scene where that one turtle gets hit in the throat, and suddenly their voice changed, and that's how they explain the voice change.
Oh, everyone says it was Jason Biggs. I see. When you said it was an incest joke, I honestly thought you were a voice of a Ninja Turtle or something.
Oh, yeah.
Guess you're not going to get a voice on that show anytime soon.
No, but let's see. Next question. I mean, I guess this is the final one since we got an hour and a half of this. You know.
We kind of, this podcast kind of went off the rails even more so.
But we all had fun here.
Yeah, it was all a fun time.
I had fun.
Yeah.
I had fun too.
Fun on the bun.
It's the only fun I have anymore.
Yeah. David Hernandez says, question, what is your biggest disappointment in animation?
I can't say.
What crushed your dreams so hard? Oh, Nesca, you have one.
Wow.
Shaolin
know.
Chronicles.
I hate Shaolin Chronicles. I
Maybe-
wish it was never a thing. I can. Ugh, I hate that show.
Nolan, you also hate Shaolin Chronicles. Bond. Do some bonding.
Well, no, yeah, I do, but like, if I were to say everything that disappointed me here for 3 hours, not enough time.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm pretty
recording
sure.
another podcast in minutes.
Yeah, like Nesca was like fucking pissed that they ruined Jack Spicer because like you know how I am with Raven. Nesca is with Jack Spicer. She wants to get spiced by the. Never mind.
You're so freaking lame.
She wants the spice of life, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. They pretty much made him like some sort of Flavor Flav callback, being some sort of weird gangster rapper. And then they had Chase lay an egg, and I don't know. It was just a mess.
Yeah, he laid an egg. This grown man. Wait, was he in his lizard form at the time?
Yes, he was in his lizard form.
Okay, well that makes it a little more acceptable that he laid an egg.
I know, but it doesn't make it acceptable that he was hugging Omi, crying and acting so weird. It's
Oh,
just, I don't know.
sad.
Nolan's right. If we sit here and talk about it, we'll talk forever.
Yeah, let's see.
Shaolin Chronicles is a bigger mistake than I am. Let's just leave it at that.
Damn. Well, I think for animation disappointments, crap. Well, just in general, whenever a TV show cancels too soon, but I'm kind of used to it now. It's like whatever. We're all fucked, you know.
I was actually kind of disappointed in that Godzilla movie. I had high hopes for. I was disappointed.
Yeah, an animated Godzilla movie.
Yeah, but the character design's not even good. Like it took forever to get to Godzilla, and they had all this backstory that was boring. It was like both worse than most Godzilla movies, but also I think like I don't know. It's just like such a failure in that like and they fucked it up. On the first try so hard. Like, how do you? I don't know. I'm just like, it was interesting, but like interesting in that boring. Like, I never want to do this again.
Yeah. I guess also Samurai Jack's finale, where it's like, damn, you guys had 20 years and you had to rush this out. I like what it was trying to do, but the execution was off. Yeah.
If it had 13 episodes, it would have been fine. I don't know why they didn't give them 13 episodes.
Like, Gendy, this is a once in a lifetime. How'd they fuck it up? Why, Gendy? Oh, but someone in the chat also keeps asking about The Last Jedi.
On December 15th.
It's now or never!
So good to have you back. Star Wars: The Last Jedi, rated PG-13.
Oh, what about it? I noticed they just say thoughts about it.
Thoughts about it. Yeah. What are your?
I mean, I did like a really long video about it. There's like, I don't hate it. I like it. I don't know. It is really long.
Everyone's mad and angry at Rotten Tomatoes, and like, people are saying like there's a huge critic divide between fans and critics, especially on Rotten Tomatoes. But it's like, it's not like freaking Star Wars fans were known for being rational, you know.
Well, I think part of the issue with that is like it's made more like all of its influences. Last Jedi are like Kurosawa movies, but not like Star Wars has always been influenced by Kurosawa, but like these are like the color ones like Ran and Kagemusha and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And those are like really deep cinephile things. And I think like your average Star Wars fan probably hasn't seen those and was not as down for that. And I don't think like that movie kind of like messes with your expectations and it is a theme of it is disappointment. So like the whole idea of like, I mean, if you haven't seen Last Jedi, it's your own fault at this point. So spoilers, I guess. But that like we don't know Rey has no like her parents are like nothing, and like the whole idea like Snoke like just like gets off really quickly, and that Poe Dameron is kind of like he's like the coolest guy in the world in Force Awakens, but in this is like hot-headedness like leads to people dying and like isn't really like the best thing in the world. So it's like showing you, I think it's trying to delve into Star Wars like they haven't done before, and use all these visual references people weren't accustomed to. I thought it was good. I think it is like maybe too long. It is like really long and structure wise it's not a normal Star Wars movie, and I think like that was hard for people to take. I don't think it's perfect. Like I've only seen it once. I mean, I still think it's good, and I don't mind Luke's like powers at the end or anything like that. But I thought it like, I don't know, I thought it was like an interesting, like probably the most interesting Star Wars movie I'd seen in a while. Like at least like did something different with it. So like when people get like all upset about it and go, oh, it should have been like this kind of Star Wars movie, I go, well, I mean, that's sort of the point, is it wasn't trying to be like Force Awakens was purposefully playing on nostalgia, and Last Jedi didn't really give a fuck. And like,
yeah,
clearly, like when you have people who are cinematically not adventurous at all, and then they go see Last Jedi, they're of course going to get upset because they want Star Wars to be comfort food, and Last Jedi wasn't as interested in doing that. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sorry that they're limited in kind of movies they like. It's their own fault.
Well, I can respect people's, you know, not liking a movie, Jim. You know.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, when people get all upset about it for like the various reasons, it just sounds to me like they're just like, I agree it's too long, and I agree, but it's like when people get so mad at it, I'm like, you know, maybe sometimes it's not the movie, sometimes it's the viewer, and I think in a lot of the Last Jedi things I read, I'm like, sounds like it's more like your thing than it's Star Wars' thing. It's just Star Wars isn't always going to give you your reliable cheeseburger every movie, you know. It's like they wanted to fuck with it, and you know, it's not a bad movie. I don't think anyway.
Okay, yeah, but overall, I liked it. Like, I will admit that there's some characters where I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" What was that girl's name? The girl Rose. I was like, "What the fuck?" But
Rose.
I hated what she did, but I understand her character. So yeah, I mean
that whole sequence where they go to the planet, like I sort of like the idea that you find out that all these people make money off of the literal Star War. Like who are arms dealers, and they sell to both the rebels and Empire. Like that was kind of interesting, but like I didn't like I felt like them freeing like these horse type things or whatever. Like that could have been cut out. Like you didn't need that in the movie. So it's like, you know, that part I'll admit is weaker. So I mean, I would like to rewatch it. I liked Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it did caught me by surprise, like, what the fuck? You can't do that. It's like, well, I guess it makes sense what Yoda said, so yeah, this is acceptable. It feels very unconventional, and that's what I love about it. Like, yeah, it could be executed better, but I still feel it's a much better movie than Force Awakens.
Oh yeah, it's like an actual risky sort of Star Wars movie. And I like that lightsaber battle was awesome. Like seriously, my whole life liking Star Wars, those guards never did shit. And you're always like, I mean, are they really good? How do I even know? Like they totally disappear in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And like in this, like they like throw down, and it's awesome. And I love that he covered his whole awesome office with an amazing space view with red blinds and stuff, like that whole red background. And it's like this amazing view of space, but I guess like if you're in space all the time. But I thought it was like, I love that whole backdrop sequence. That was cool. And you know, I don't know. and Kylo Ren is still like maybe the best character in that whole
I mean, like people hate Kylo Ren, but I mean, I feel like people who hate him just don't really get what the whole point is. He's basically just like some guy who's in a position of power, but he shouldn't be at all. And that's why it's interesting.
Well, he's the guy. He's basically the Rey Kylo thing. Is that Kylo came from the right family, the right bloodline. He went to the best school. Like he should be the top Jedi theoretically.
Yeah.
But Rey comes out of nowhere, just naturally has that ability, and that's what I think is really cool, because it's basically saying like Kylo Ren is the rich kid in high school, and Rey is the smart kid who actually earned being like the valedictorian or something. And just Kylo like came from that, and everyone's like, you have to be this, but you know, it didn't work out.
Rey was raised in the streets and had to fend for herself, you know. And Kylo just listens to 50 Cent and says G-Unit and does.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. And I like that, like, even the fact that he's like a hipster, basically. I mean, he wears a dumb Darth Vader mask and he doesn't need to wear one. He's a poser. I mean, that's what he is. He wants to be this big thing, and he never will, because he'll never be like what Anakin Skywalker was, which was a poor kid who worked his way up to being a Jedi. Yeah. He wasn't handed being the greatest Jedi in the world like Kylo was. So
everyone was like mad because they basically, like, all the fan speculations of like, who is Snoke? Who is this person? Like, I'm glad that it was just like, none of that matters, so fuck all of you and your fan theories.
I think that was better, because those movies, the newer ones, need to focus on the new characters. And I mean, that's the weirder thing with those movies, is it focuses on the past generation, like Luke and Han and Leia, but also the new people. It's like there isn't enough room for Snoke like that. Yeah. They could delve into that in a different movie, but it's like it kind of didn't matter if he's in it or not. So
yeah, he served his purpose, and that's why. But it just reminds me, back in like 2007 or so, I was like deep into like fan theories about Cloverfield, and people was making analyses. And then when I actually went to see Cloverfield, the movie, I was like, well, none of that at all mattered. What the fuck? So I guess that's how people feel.
I mean, that's like fan theories. I don't know when people get mad at it didn't do what they wanted it to do. I'm like, well, like, what would that movie have been? Doesn't sound as interesting. It's like what they, because it was like, because they played with the Rey thing a lot, and then when you find it out, you're like, oh, that's like not where I thought you were gonna go. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. And like the whole idea that like the kid with the broom, it's like anybody could be a Jedi. I kind of like that idea that you.
Okay, yeah. I kind of like that ending.
I think that's cool. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, but yeah.
But I'm just like, I just see people still today making fan theories on stuff like Steven Universe and Gravity Falls, and me with my experience with Cloverfield, I'm like, you're all fools. Anything else about anything? Because I think this is the end of the podcast.
I think so too.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like, nobody cares about Star Wars.
Who's excited? Wait, who's excited for Solo? I'm not.
I'm excited to see what Phil Lord and Chris Miller even did at this point.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah.
This is the end of the podcast. Solo coming out. March 57th,
fucking in just a few months. It's like, oh god. I mean, it looks okay. Like, it looks very small, small in scale, So maybe it'll be interesting, but it won't be a spectacle.
I'm more excited for Lando than Solo. Lando looks dope. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's all anyone cares about is Donald Glover. What is this?
Lando's the best.
I guess so. Well, goodbye, everyone. I gotta go urinate. Yes.
All right.
Oh my god. Okay. Well.
Later.
Peace out.
Guys.
Thanks for having me back.
Screw you, Mars Reviews.
No,
what?
I like him.
Yes, I mean, sorry,
Mars.
Hi, Mars.
Mars, you were a great guest. Thanks for having you on.
I already edited the stream, so dummies.
Oh.
We are walking and talking and moving and grooving and hipping and hopping and picking and popping. Those spots in your bed, you better take a stand. You're gonna wake up, that thing in your head. If you're looking all around, there's trouble to be found. Make sure you find and see it out. Gotta close 3, need back up, bring me my pride. Pink fluoro jacket.
He's fat and he don't run too fast, but he's faster than me.
Show my walkie-talkie man.
Last night at the show we saw him going out of his dream.
Go, go, go.